Welcome everyone, I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and now that all of the film has been watched and all of the grades are in, it's time for the Football Game Plan Scouting 2018 NFL Draft Prospect Preview. Before we get started with our prospect rankings, here's how we gather our grades and what they actually mean. First, we watch a minimum of 3 full games on a player, a prospect's best game, his worst game, and the best or intriguing matchup. And second, we grade on 15 key points specific to the position to equal 100 points in total. Now, here's what the grades that you'll see by a prospect's name will actually mean. Prospects that earned grades in the 90s graded out as future NFL All-Pros. Prospects in the 80s are considered future Pro Bowl players. Grades in the 70s represent solid NFL starters, and grades in the 60s are players that we believe are spot starters in the NFL. And if you notice, we don't use the word reserve or backups because we personally feel as though that there are no such thing as backups in the NFL, only starters in waiting. So without further ado, let's kick off our prospect rankings by taking a look at our top 10. Roquan Smith of Georgia graded out as our #1 rated inside linebacker. When you watch him play, you notice that he consistently takes outstanding angles to the football, and that's important because as we saw versus Oklahoma on 2 separate occasions, it puts you in position to make a key stop. Being a solid tackler is another forte of Smith. You like to see him become a bit better at taking on blocks instead of trying to go around them, but for the most part, he's a solid backer that's good on both ends of defense. Micah Kiser of Virginia checks in at #2. I think he has excellent football instincts. He's always in the right spot to make a play and is spatially aware. I think he's a Jeremiah Trotter-like thumper in the running game. You also worry about the number of injuries he's had in college, and you hope that they're all behind him because when he's healthy, he's one of the best at the position. Looking at the rest of the top 10, I think Jason Kabinda's game out of Penn State is vastly underrated. He's another one of those backers like Josie Jewell out of Iowa that do a lot of things very well on a football field. To Grace Scales out of Indiana has a great nose for the football and is consistently finding his way through traffic to the ball carrier. Texas's Malik Jefferson's athleticism can have him playing inside or outside backer. I think his pursuit angles within the tackle box helps him be a bit more of a threat inside than on the outside. And Kenny Young out of UCLA is a terrific athlete that has very good pursuit skills, and he's coming off a great week of work at the East-West Shrine game. Sam Levy out of Troy is a criminally underrated prospect. He's a sure, impactful tackler that was a tackling machine for the Trojans. Taking on and shedding blocks is where you like to see him grow his game moving forward, but from an awareness, a pursuit, and from a tackling standpoint, I think he's excellent. Speaking of tackling machines, Brett Taylor out of Western Illinois was just that for the Leathernecks. He's a 3-time All-American and brings very good athleticism to the position. I also like his ability in the passing game from a coverage perspective. Dylan Cole out of Missouri State last year was the back who, quote-unquote, came out of nowhere to make an impact in the NFL season, and Taylor will be the next in a long line of strong Missouri Valley Conference backers to do the same. Joel McCandless out of Jacksonville State is another FCS prospect with solid game. I think he's a strong 2-down backer with some skills in coverage. I believe his football awareness is where it needs to be in order to play in the middle as a pro, so keep an eye on him moving forward as his process goes along. Here's a look at prospects 11 through 20. Both Jack Sitchie of Wisconsin and Kristen Sam of Arizona State are coming off of injuries. These guys, to me, have the biggest potential to have strong impacts as rookies if they are able to prove to be healthy. They are excellent football players that have been snake bitten throughout the course of their collegiate career. Alvin Jones of UTEP and Junior Joseph of UConn play with the energy and enthusiasm and make impactful plays that you want to see from your inside backers. Joseph has been a 4-year starter for the Huskies and has great all-around game. Brandon Bryant of Lafayette can play multiple positions on the second level. He has that knack, that I like to call it, for making a big play when his team needs it the most. I saw that this season versus Princeton. He will be 2 years removed from the knee injury, so he should get back his excellent sideline-to-sideline speed that he had prior. He's a fundamentally sound backer that can excel in all facets. Rounding out our inside linebacker rankings with prospects 21 through 30, Deion Pierre of Sanford, Randall Laguerre of Central Connecticut State, and Garrett Dolan of Houston Baptist are prospects to keep an eye on as the pro day circuit rolls around. Jannard Avery of Memphis could even function as an edge rusher or Sam backer if need be. I like his versatility. And Gabe Lloyd of Texas State is one of the program's best linebackers in history and is a two-down player on the inside. I'm a big fan of Nick DeLuca's game out of North Dakota State. I like his versatility. He can play any one of the linebacker spots at the next level in any defense. I think he's ideally suited on the inside, as his ability in the passing game is what the league looks for. DeLuca does a great job in reading route concepts quickly and jumping into the passing window to make a play. I thought he performed well during a week of practice at the Senior Bowl. So that's a wrap for our 2018 FBGP Scouting Draft Prospect Preview. To see more of our individual scouting reports, follow us on Twitter at FBGP Scouting and bookmark the page footballgameplan.com/FBGP Scouting. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan, where you can get all of our scouting videos, mock drafts, and NFL draft prospect videos. And one more thing, subscribe to us on iTunes under Football Game Plan Podcast, where you can find the Scout Team Podcast, where we interview multiple NFL draft prospects.